Hey guys, so welcome to part 2 of my Galaxy Tab S7 Plus review. And just like I said in the previous video, what we're going to be talking about today is the keyboard attachment that comes for the Galaxy S7 and the S7 Plus. We're going to talk about battery life, software, Samsung DeX, and just ultimately if I still think it's worth buying after everything I'm going to talk about today. And I'm going to state this now, I'm going to have quite a few complaints, okay? But these are not necessarily nitpicks. These are things that users are gonna experience, and if I'm not the one that points these out, then when is anyone going to? So first, we're gonna get into the keyboard attachment, and we're gonna start off with the design. So when it comes to the keyboard attachment, it comes in two pieces, right? You're gonna have the bottom part, which is basically the keyboard and the trackpad itself, with the 3-pin connector that'll attach to the tablet on its own right here. And what you do is you literally just snap it in place when you are ready to use it, and you can quickly detach it as well if you wanna just use your tablet in regular tablet mode while having the back plate attached to it. Now the back plate, what it does is it sticks via magnets this time, which is great because last year on the Galaxy Tab S6, it used this weird adhesive, and once it falls off, it renders that keyboard attachment useless unless you're able to prop it, which is really annoying. So having the back plate on it is literally what I do all the time. I rarely ever take it off. But another thing I like about the back plate is the fact that you have this little fold for the S Pen. See, I like that because as much as I like these S Pens or like Apple's Apple Pencil and whatnot, I hate that there's naturally not a better solution for carrying it. So having these cases that can securely keep the pen in place, that works for me. But now when it comes to the material, I'm not too sure what it is. I even looked on Samsung's site and I might have missed it. So if you know what this material is, leave it down below so all of us can learn. But it feels really nice. It feels plasticky, but it has like the grooves and lookings of like leather. It just doesn't feel like it. So like, I don't know, it's a nice feeling case. So if you're interested in this, just know like it feels fine in the hands. As always though, I always worry when it comes to stuff like this about the texture and as well as how long it's gonna hold up over time, because there's gonna be a lot of times where like material can get stained due to like water or like just food getting on it and messing things up. So, you know, try to take care of it. Now the keyboard and the keys themselves, they are a nice improvement. So the keys feel great. When you type on it, it feels great. They sound great. And I do really like the additional keys that they have on the top row now where you can do things like pause and play videos, your auto brightness or your brightness features. And it's nice to have additions on like that. And when it comes to the trackpad, what I do like that they finally did was add more gesture controls. So now you can use certain gestures for certain things on the tablet, such as being able to like multitask or swipe away apps. Ever since I had the Magic Keyboard and trackpad on my iPad Pro, using these gestures is something I really wanted on an Android tablet, so I'm happy to see it here. Now, a minor detail that I do want to talk about real quick is I really like that when it comes to the case and you go to the keyboard side, right? You can see that my case is closed until I open it. When you close it though, there is small magnets along the side here, so the case closes and stays closed just like this, and there's no like wobbling around. The case or the keyboard itself won't move so much. It's a small detail, but I really like that they magnetically stuck it. It does pose a problem when you try to open this thing right away with one hand, so what I do is I just simply push it out a little and then pull it. All right, so now we're gonna go into the uncomfortable part, and we're gonna talk about some of the issues that I have. And most of it isn't even hardware, slight bit of it is, but the most of it is just the software when it comes to this device. So be ready because I just want to be honest with you guys, and if I don't nitpick again, no one else will, so it's gonna be me. Okay, so this first one, chances are it really is just me, but I cannot adapt to this darn keyboard. Like, I don't know if it's because my hands are not the biggest, which I accept, but when it comes to the key travel, I don't know if it's just too much for me to use a 12.4-inch keyboard or something, but I never gotten used to the keys. I don't know, when I type, I try it, and after all this time, I still have trouble with it. And here's the thing, I even did keyboard tests on this one. I did it on my regular keyboards here at home and also at the studio. And I also did it on my Magic Keyboard and trackpad. And I only make the most errors on this keyboard. And here's the thing too, and I promise it really is a problem, is not all the times do my presses even get registered. Like there's times where like for some reason I press a T and the T doesn't show up. Now, I tested this extensively. I don't know if it's just my model, but I want you to know I still struggle when it comes to typing on here. I don't know why, but I do. And now, even though I like the second keyboard row on the top, why is it attached to a function key? Like I have to do function and then whatever it is that I want to do. So for example, if you're watching a YouTube video, instinctively I want to press the space bar. And when you press it, nothing happens. Sometimes you get this white haze over the video. And the only way you actually pause this video will be by doing function and then the pause button. And that's the problem, because why can't it just be a regular secondary key the way it is on the Logitech keyboard on Apple's iPad Pro? And you know what? While we're on the topic of this white haze, what is it? Why is it even there? Like there's times where I will accidentally press the space bar, like just at a time I shouldn't have, I suppose. And I get a white haze, whether it be over an app that I'm using, over a video that I'm watching, and it doesn't go away until I close the entire app, reopen it, and then it's back. But why is it there? Like this has been a problem since the Galaxy Tab S6 when I owned it. So I don't know why it's there, but if somebody knows any solutions to what I'm complaining about in the comment section, go ahead and leave it for me, because I want to get rid of these. And now I knew this when buying it that it wouldn't have it, but Samsung, just give us backlit keys already. Like why are you holding out on us? This has a huge battery, this can do it. All right, and now we're gonna get into the trackpad, and boy, oh boy, I still hate it. I cannot give Samsung credit for this trackpad. I give them credit for putting a trackpad, but here's the thing. After using this for nearly a month of working, I still get lags on this trackpad when it comes to my mouse and my cursor just not moving at the time I'm telling it to. I still get hiccups where it'll be on one side of my display, and then when I move it, it takes like 2 seconds to register, 3 seconds, and then it'll finally move to catch up. Like, how is it that something that is physically attached to the device is giving me more lag and more hiccups than the Bluetooth mouse that uses a wireless connection, but it works flawlessly? That is why when I use this, I 90% of the time use a mouse, because I don't know what it is, but the trackpads are just not nailing. I really need them to focus on this and really nail this, because even though they even added gestures, which I am so happy about, like trust me, the gestures aren't even consistent either. What I mean by that is you have two things, right? You have the One UI, and then you also have Samsung DeX on here. And let's say you're in One UI and you want to swipe away apps. You can do that on One UI. You just hover your mouse over it and you can just swipe it away. But now let's get into Samsung DeX mode. And you would think because it's the same package you're getting this in, it would be the same. No, you actually have to click the X buttons in order to close apps, or you click close all. And then even with multitasking, when you're in Samsung DeX mode, it's like you get multitasking or windows swapping in Samsung DeX between what you have open in Samsung DeX, but then you have the multitasking of what would have opened in One UI 2.0. So I don't get why they're treating these things as separate things. Like if you're running software and you're delivering it in one package, which they are, and they're even delivering this as a laptop replacement. And again, it's possible. I've done it for nearly a month now. But why are they treating it as two separate things? When I say that, it's because a lot of users, and if I'm only one user that has gotten this confused, imagine how many are out there. If one user does not understand how to work your UI, it's gonna be very frustrating, and it makes us not wanna use it anymore. And another thing, and I'm here testing this while I write this to make sure I got my thoughts in order. But like, look, now it froze. This is frozen. Like, why? Why does it freeze? You see, look, now it moved, but I'm still supposed to be, I'm still supposed to be swiping. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. And you know what else makes me not want to use Samsung DeX is the fact that not all these apps are optimized for it. Now, this isn't entirely Samsung's fault. Every app is going to be developed by somebody. They're the ones that have to update it to run flawlessly on here. But the problem is it makes me think of the Windows phones. Remember when Windows phones were a thing? When developers didn't support and create apps to run well on Windows phones. So it made it obsolete and not everyone wanted to use it anymore because the apps that we wanted to use weren't running well or they just weren't there. And that's the fear I'm having with Samsung DeX is, yes, you can resize apps so it can, work on the full-size tablet mode or like whatever. The point is, when it comes to apps like Notion, and I use that frequently, I have experienced more bugs on here than any other app. Again, it goes back to Notion being the one that has to update it. So there's that. YouTube Studio just doesn't work well. Even when I try to fully resize it, it's just not possible because it's not possible to do that on Android. And now I understand that some of you might not be happy with what I'm saying, but really understand that I have no preference between Apple or Samsung or any other company. What I want is for the hardware that I buy to work beautifully with the software that I buy, and for none of this to be an issue when I'm trying to work. And as someone who uses this professionally for their job, it makes it very frustrating that it makes me not want to use it. Now, again, I'm just one guy. Maybe you can deal with it. I'm suffering. But all right, so those are my complaints about the hardware and the software. Now let's lastly get into my favorite part, which is the battery. So this battery is a 10,090 milliamp hour cell, right? Now here's the thing, this battery life is easily so good to be used for 2 to 3 days on this device. And I literally do that almost every single time I get this on a charge. I use it for 2 to 3 days, charge it again. And even with 120 hertz on all the time, this battery lasts me. So regardless if you're gonna use 120 hertz or 60, you can experience some really good battery life on here. Now, the thing that I have a problem with is the charger that it comes with. So Samsung gives us what, the fast charging 2.0, like I forgot the exact name, but you guys know which charger I'm talking about. We all have these in like our drawer somewhere. And the fact that Samsung gives that out of the box for a device that has this big of a battery life, like, no. Now I ran some tests because I wanted to see what the recharge rate would be and how well this device can charge quickly with the charger that came out of the box. So I'm gonna pull out my phone here and tell you guys the exact results of 3 different chargers that I tried out for this video. So first we're gonna start with the one that comes in the box, right? So with that fast charger and leaving it to charge from 0% to 100%, it took this device 3 hours and 2 minutes to fully charge. That is a long time, like a really long time. I am not okay with that and you shouldn't be either. So I decided to try an 80-watt charger to see if that would change anything. And from 0% to 100%, it took 2 hours and 59 minutes. So essentially, there really isn't much of a difference to go from the charger that comes out of the box to an 80-watt charger. But there's something that I have that I'm happy I bought a while back that you guys should buy too if you consider this device, is I have a 45-watt charger. And I bought this when I bought my Galaxy Note 10 Plus back in the day, and you guys can still buy this on Samsung's website. And I promise you, with the results you're gonna get, you're gonna wanna buy this charger. Now this bad boy here went from 0% to 100% with this 45-watt charger in 1 hour and 45 minutes. That is almost half of the time it takes to fully charge it with the charger that comes out of the box. So let the results stand that if you're interested in this device, I really suggest you guys buying the 45-watt charger so that way your device charges way faster and it doesn't slow you down with what it is that you're trying to do. So all right, to wrap things up, is this device worth it? And is it worth buying the Magic Keyboard and Trackpad? Is it worth using Samsung DeX? Do I even like it? What's the verdict here? As a package, this has so much potential. It has so much potential because of the beautiful hardware that this device has. It has so much going for it, but it is still crippled by the software. Can you use it still? Is it still gonna be a decent experience? Yes, I wouldn't have lasted nearly a month using this as my laptop for work if it wasn't possible. Just know that the entire time I suffered a lot with a lot of little things that just added up over time and made this a frustrating experience. And keep in mind, not everyone's gonna see it the way I do. So if you think you can go through a lot of these issues, or maybe you won't even experience them yourselves and you'll be okay with it, then go for it. This is beautiful, this is great. But if you really just wanna invest in something that won't be so problematic, or maybe something that just has a lot less bugs to deal with, you can do what I do and just go with the iPad Pro and get the Magic Keyboard and Trackpad attachment, or buy the Logitech Folio case, because that's actually the next video I'm gonna make, because that has been giving me such a great experience at half the price of the Magic Keyboard and Trackpad. So the last thing I'll say is it's just a shame. It's a shame that I am considering leaving this device for my iPad Pro, because when it comes to hardware, I much prefer this hardware in terms of the tablets, big time. But the software is making me go right back to my iPad, and I'm gonna miss it. I don't know. I don't know where I'm gonna stand in the next couple of days when I decide to go back to my iPad, because I know I'm gonna miss this for that beautiful display. But we'll see, and hopefully you'll see what you're gonna do as well. So, all right, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you have anything to say, leave it down in the comment section. I am always open to hear what you guys want to talk about. And if you did like this video, go ahead and give it a like so that YouTube algorithm knows what's up. And then above all, subscribe if you are new, so that way we can continue to build this community. And yeah, let's just take things from there. So, all right guys, thanks again for watching. Make sure to be safe, stay clean, make good decisions, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.